My doorbell camera pinged at 3 a.m., waking me from a dead sleep. It wasn't a burglar. It was the former associate of my deceased partner, asking if the package was ready. My partner, David, had died 6 months ago in a suspicious car crash. We were building a revolutionary new AI. He was the code genius. I was the strategist. We were about to land a multi-million-dollar contract. David had a secret project, a backdoor into our system, codenamed Janice. He told me he'd encrypted it, but I was too busy dealing with the funeral and the buyout. The ex-associate, a man named Thorne, appeared on my camera feed. He was lurking near my porch, his face obscured by a baseball cap. Is the host offline? He rasped into the camera. Offline. I whispered, my blood running cold. That was David's private term for a system shutdown. Thorne waited, pacing. Then he mumbled, she still hates the Crimson interface. The Azure one is better. The Crimson interface was David's original design. I hadn't changed it since his death. I called the cybersecurity team. They scanned the logs, then politely told me there was nothing they could do. Thorne hadn't physically trespassed, and private development codenames weren't exactly actionable. I felt a sliver of relief, but it lasted precisely one day. The next night, another alert. Thorne was back, closer this time, his voice clearer. The alpha build is still unstable. The Azure one is better, he said. I felt a tremor of dread. The alpha build was David's prototype. I watched him disappear into the shadows again. I called cybersecurity again. They added it to the threat report, advised me to enhance my firewall, and to call emergency services if he escalated. No one came to check on me. I started sleeping in the server room. My wife, Sarah, went from suspecting a rival competitor to becoming paranoid. Thorne kept appearing on the camera, dropping cryptic hints about David's work that were generally not public. Things like the specific quantum encryption David had developed. Sarah started demanding answers. We were actually banned from industry conferences. We had to ask my old mentor to attend in our place. I didn't sleep. I waited, like clockwork. The moment I felt the entire operation could collapse was about 2 weeks later. Thorne returned, not speaking, just breathing heavily at the camera, fogging the lens. He wrote in the fog, Project Nightingale is compromised. That was the codename for David's secret AI. Then it hit me. The only place David had ever discussed sensitive project details or proprietary information was in our encrypted, end-to-end secure cloud drive. The next morning, I called the IT administrator. It went straight to his out-of-office auto-reply. I tried again. This time, there was a message saying the server was undergoing emergency maintenance. I checked the company portal. Thorne's employee profile was gone. Something was very wrong, and I needed to know what. That night, I waited by the server rack, my access card in my hand. At exactly 3 a.m., Thorne appeared on my internal camera feed, right at the server room door. This time, I opened the encrypted channel and activated the voice command. Who are you? I demanded. My voice sounded colder than I felt. Thorne froze. He said you'd be waiting, he stammered. You're not supposed to be here. Who? I pressed. The architect, he said. He said I could access it if I followed all the protocols and ran his backdoor script without question. The internal security team responded thanks to my automated alert. Thorne didn't resist the lockdown and just looked like he regretted his life choices. At the preliminary hearing, Thorne confessed he'd been working with David on a side project. David, the architect, would pay him to test security loopholes. But when the cybersecurity team traced David's remote access logs 2 days later, they found evidence of David accessing the Janice backdoor himself. Thorne's testimony was deemed unreliable. The case was put on hold. I thought it was over. But one night, Sarah was reviewing David's old project files. She looked at me and whispered, Janice. We'd never told her that nickname. Sarah asked me where she'd heard it. David told me, she replied. When she told me, I knew somehow this wasn't over.